The biter will flee.
Huh? Way too easy.
Just a scratch. Lucky hit. Just a...
Stuff, just take it and go. Don't sound like much fun, though.
Like a bite of a flea.
All you got? Retire someday. Give myself an island. That's all you got?
You fucking scum. You'll pay for that.
back. With some trouble. Some folks just never learn. What? That's all you've got?
Yes? Huh? An Outlander, aren't you? Let me think. You could ask old Taiwan from Screws, Hats, Odds and Ends Incorporated. He might have something. Or the Golden Sickle, if you're not afraid of hard work. They're always looking for day tellers. News? Where have you been these past moons? The whole city's talking about nothing else but the Mad Magister. 30 dead novices. Oh, boy. How could something like this happen within the Order?
about yourself. The streets aren't safe this time of the day.
Hey, you there? Yes, you. Can you spare a moment for him? He would be very grateful. Well, he, Kermai Kazor Tatakajape. Your help. Tell him, do you have good eyes? Good, very good. Let him cut to the chase. He is in dire need of eggs. Lots of eggs. And he wants you to help him. A half-starling, yes. But unfortunately, he's not from Anku, if that's what you would have asked next. Which is something he really regrets. This world, it's so dirty, so loud. But, well, what can you do? One is what one is. It is, indeed. The eggs he is looking for are hard to come by. Do you see those brown hammerbirds circling over the heartland? In many other countries, such as Nerim or Kira, their hatchlings are brought up to be letterbirds. He wants to raise such letterbirds for a special purpose. So, what do you say? Will you help an old starling? The ancient fathers would thank you for it. He's sure of that. Oh, that's hard to explain. He doubts you would understand. But it has to do with our lost home, the Star City. Yes, the place we starlings come from, and where we are destined to return to eventually. Don't you know the stories? There's a city far up in the sky, and all the worldly suffering doesn't exist there. But this is no place to talk about that. There are books which could explain our prophecies a lot better than he ever could. You're talking about coin. Yes, he does. And provided you bring him what he needs, he would have given them to you anyway. Well, that is the part where your good eyes come into play. All you need to do is follow the movements of the birds flying above the sea here and in its vicinity. Eventually, they will return to their nests, and that's where you can find the eggs. Just come back once you've found a good handful or more. He will wait for your return.
There it is. Ark. Majestic, isn't it?
Sir?
What quest? Let me think. Ah yes, this young woman who owns the gallery in the South Quarter looked a little distraught when I last saw her. I think business isn't going so well. Maybe you could try to talk to her, see if there's anything you can do.
Just have to live with it. Yes?
A penny, my sir. Please, just one penny.
What?
Thank you. That's really generous. May his light guide you.
Farewell.
Monsieur?
A foreigner, huh? What a surprise. What the? Have you lost your mind?
Please, we need to put an end to this, now!
Yes? Monsieur?
Huh? Keep your chin up.
An obulus, my sir, please. The Lord will redeem you for your kind. Oh, thank you. You truly are a good person.
Oh, come on! Don't you think I see how you're slaving away? You can hardly put one foot before the other. Look how exhausted you are. And this armor. Whew, it must weigh tons. Thank Malphus, I have just the right thing for you. A way to ease your travels. A mount. And you know what? Today's your lucky day. If you agree to help me out with a little problem of mine, I'll give you one for free. Gnarldolf, a troll. For 2 months now, every night, I've been hearing this horrible, bloodthirsty grunting near the farm. The guard says I'm only imagining it, but trust me, I've seen enough of the world to know troll noises when I hear them. When it all started, the grunting came from back in the forest, but it's gotten closer each night, and I'm sure that thing is out for my animals. So, what do you say? You kill Nardal for me, and in return, you will get one of my very best donkeys for free. Whirlwind. And believe me, he lives up to his name. What? That doesn't ring a bell. Gnarldolf? As in, the Gnarldolf? From the fairy tale, The Seraph and the Beast. Considering how horrible the grunting sounds, that name seemed fitting to me. But call him what you want, it doesn't matter, as long as you kill him. Oh, that should be pretty easy. Just wait until shortly after midnight and then scout the area. Eventually, you'll hear that grunting I told you about. Then just find out where it comes from. And needless to say, be careful. You look like you can take care of yourself, otherwise I wouldn't have asked. But these beasts are not to be underestimated.
An Oculus, my sir, please. God will redeem you for your kindness.
Huh. Look at that. A fellow traveler. Stay on the roads. A fellow traveler. Huh. Greetings. I guess it depends on what you think is interesting. There was this one time where I met this Aracelian mercenary. Roguish, silent type, you know what I mean. Anyway, some drunken miners started talking trash to him, looking to start a fight, and I tell you, it was a bloody spectacle. The Aracelian wore plate armor, but he fought with 2 sabers nonetheless, and was as quick as a tiger. 30 seconds later, the dumbasses were crouching on the ground, begging him to stop. Let me think. I heard those prospectors talking about the old abandoned mining town up in the mountains, Northwind. They said that if you can handle yourself in a fight, you might still find some valuable stuff up there. I don't know. Maybe you want to go and take a look at it. You have? Well, sure. Let me see. Or tell me what you need. Walk blessed. Evening.
An Oculus,
And here we are. And here we are. Welcome to Ark. I've got some things to take care of here. So let's meet at the market once you're ready to meet Grandmaster Tealor Arenthiel and his mages in person, alright? By his own son, Nerazil, yeah. But roughly 2.5 years ago, he suddenly appeared back in Enderal, accompanied by a handful of mages who once fought against him in the Great War. Weird, I know, but that's how it was. He did, yeah. It seems that something happened between him and them that made them sort out their issues, you could say. They're allies now, and frankly, nobody quite knows why. You can imagine what kind of uproar that caused among the Holy Order itself. But in the end, Arenthiel got things his way. You can say what you want about him, but he never lost his charisma, that's for sure. You're telling me. But apparently their alliance has something to do with this red madness. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh, sure, I should have thought of that. Pardon me. Alright then. Ark is divided into 5 districts, not counting the harbor. The Foreign Quarter, where we are right now, the Marketplace, the Nobles' Quarters, the South Quarter, and the Temple. If you're looking to gear up, I guess the market would be the place to go. You can find anything there, from food to weapons, armor, and whatever else you need. If it's magical supplies and alchemy you need, however, you best try your luck in the Nobles' Quarters. But prepare yourself for some dismissive looks. Up there's also the bathing house and the theater, in case you have the coin for that. Finally, there's the temple, which is hard to overlook. Normal citizens are not permitted to enter it, and from up there, the Holy Order reigns over this country. But if all goes according to plan, you'll soon see it from the inside. And then there's the Undercity. Yeah, it doesn't, and it isn't. The Undercity's a cluster of caves directly beneath our feet. And down there is where the poor and the sick live, not to mention those that the Order doesn't like to see in their neat, pretty streets in the upper city. Not a place I'd recommend you visit, at least not unless you're looking for mischievous things. Great. Then see you later and enjoy your stay.
My sir, do you have a moment? I think the two of us could do business together. Well, it is actually quite simple, but since you were kind enough not to just ignore me and walk by as the others did, I would like to show my gratitude for that first. You travel a lot, don't you? I can tell by the mud on your boots. Here, one of these books might come in handy on your journeys. Which one do you prefer? They are, crafting books. I suppose you can call them that. They contain some valuable knowledge about the arts such as smithing, alchemy, or even lockpicking. Not that I would ever imply you do such a thing except in an old ruin, but you get the picture. Splendid! Say, would you happen to be interested in earning yourself some more coins? Or, even better, more books like those? There is something I need help with. I have a problem, and this problem is called Celia, which happens to be my sister. Where should I start? You know, I am one of those people who wasn't given everything by fate. Quite the contrary, in fact. When I was a child, the village I grew up in, Foamville, was ambushed by bandits. And both my father and my mother died during the attack. Thank you, but it's ancient history now. Fact is, my sister and I dealt with this event differently. We managed to flee the attack and make it to Ark, where the gods, of course, threw us into the Undercity. But while I tried to honor my father's heritage by using the little I could from our savings by setting up a business, she preferred to wallow in her misery instead. She got to know the wrong people and has, since then, never done a single bit of honest work. Frankly, she's a dust addict. Day and night she does nothing else but rot in those drinking holes in the Undercity and blows what little money she makes on her drage. Now, of course, she is still my sister. So all of these years I paid her rent so she doesn't have to sleep on the streets. However, things have changed. Recently she started using our father's heritage to pay for her addiction, and I will not accept that. Of course, you wouldn't know that. Glimmercap dust, the blue bliss, or however you want to call it. It's a drage, a dangerous one. Apparently, it makes you feel as if you're walking the eternal paths. but it also kills you quicker than the sunfire. Well, technically it's our money. Basically, it was a share our father had in a small business here. He was so proud of it, you wouldn't believe it. Luckily enough, I managed to save that paper from the bandits and turned it in at the bank a few years ago, after I realized how valuable it was. Since then, it has turned into quite a formidable sum. Nothing huge, of course, but enough to save my business from bankruptcy. You understand? In theory, it is our money, but without me, she would probably have sold it for a bottle of ale, and I won't let her spit on our father's heritage that way. I certainly could, but the day a guard voluntarily goes into the Undercity is the day Avatia will become a barber. The Undercity belongs to Relata, and Celia knows that, which is why my hands are tied. Oh, believe me, I did. Which is why she simply hid the key to our safe in the bank somewhere that I couldn't find it. So, long story short, this is where you come in. I want you to get her to give me that key. How you do it is up to you, but if you succeed, it won't be to your disadvantage. Anywhere there's rats and dust, but she spends most of her time in the False Dog in the Undercity, one of those dumps I told you about. Just come back to me once you've found something.
Morala's blessings, my friend. Farewell. Well, flee isn't exactly the right word for it. I call it tactical relocalization. Only a stupid businessman will try to sell spices amidst a civil war. Well, they are blasphemy. What else? The gods have reigned win for millennia. Whoever thinks one could just kill the gods as they could kill a rabbit must be another fool. Oh, well, after those rumors about the Lightborn's death started, the council members must have thought, now's the time for power struggles. Very stupid if you ask me, and very bad for the economy. Thank the sun I was one of the few who fled early enough, but this madness has cost far too many lives. Far too many. Farewell.
What? Oh, yes, sure. What do you need?
Allah's blessings, my friend.
What? Oh, yes, sure. What do you need?
Morala's blessings, my friend.
What? Oh, yes, sure. What do you need?
Just how it is.
Yes?
Is it important? Hello?
My sir?
Oi, you there. Don't look at me like that. Looking for trouble, eh? Stop ignoring me. You bloody fluttered your eyes at me, woman. Oh yeah, you think I haven't noticed, don't you? You say sorry at once, so I'll smack your mouth. Oh, that you'd like to know, huh? So you can deduce me Bernadette. Don't bloody think I'm stupid. Uh-huh. Then you want to deduce me, don't you? Of course. What else would you want? I knew it the moment I saw you. Okay, then listen up, pal. I'm way above your league. Apologise. Right now, or you'll see me get real angry. Well, you're lucky I'm having a good day. Next time I won't let you off that easy.
Huh? What do you want? Malfest's blessings.
Evening.
Oh, yes. Of course you'd say that.
Evening.
Hard times these are. Hard times.
Move along.
Wait a moment. You're an outlander, aren't you? Only if you know what to look for. I'm one myself, so I do. Balhazel, pleased to make your acquaintance. Tell me, if you're new in this city, are you perchance also looking for work? Excuse me, what was I saying? I'm looking for a hand. Well, neither do you. But to answer your question, I'm Arizaline, but third generation Arizaline, so it doesn't show that much anymore. Apart from my name and my skin, there's little left of my roots, I'm afraid. Anyway, so what did you say? Interested in some well-paid, honest work? It's simple. I want you to find something for me. You know, I'm a healer, just like my father was, and my grandfather before that. When he came to this country, he did so because he had been hired by an Arca noblewoman, a bright lady who valued science and the arts of healing. In any case, my grandfather spent a large portion of life working for this lady in an old, abandoned fort near the now deserted village of Fogville. Together with a good dozen other apothecary, he planned for my father to succeed him. But before he had the chance to, the mushroom plague occurred. Yes, that one. The spores of those mushrooms have literally sucked all the life from the forest and its surroundings. Plus, they are a threat to everyone who comes close.
Potatoes, garlic, radish.
It does seem likely, doesn't it? Both my father and I have asked my grandfather this question too, but he has always denied it. The plague was a magical phenomenon, a freak of nature, no more, no less. Those were his words. However, I've made some troubling discoveries which have led me to doubt that. I believe the plague might have been fabricated. Well, this is exactly what I want you to find out. Unfortunately, the noblewoman whom my grandfather worked for has long been dead, and she was the last in their bloodline, so I couldn't find any answers there. But the old fortress where they worked still stands. Isn't that obvious? Because I want to understand. You know, we Arzalines believe in the debt of blood. If my grandfather committed a crime, it is my responsibility to atone for it. Plus, I believe that if there was a way to, well, to cure that plague, it is hidden within that fortress. Whatever harm the mushrooms can do, they can also reverse it. My father never cared much about all this, but I'm different. If there's one thing I want to achieve in my life, then it's clarity. Look at me, you'll have the answer. I'm old and far from made for the road to begin with. Furthermore, all those undead who've been roaming the wilderness since that red madness began don't exactly make the idea more inviting. But don't worry, if you succeed, I'll make it worth your while. Reports, scrolls, samples of their work, anything that could be of relevance. Just look around. Do you have a map? Here, the fortress should be in this area. Best you take Myra to Fogville. In the village harbour, there was a hut where my grandfather lived when he was off duty. Chances are you'll find a key to the fortress there. Good luck, and thank you. If you have found the material, you can find me in the Undercity, near the old waterworks. My laboratory is there.
Move along. Huh?
Mead, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
Huh? What do you want?
Yes, you should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find in the old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
Malfash's blessings.
Evening.
May your path always be even.
In bed, sorry.
Hello.
A game. Come on, take a seat.
Mead, stew, roast pork.
Good luck. You'll need it. Shit. How can that be? Shit. How can that be? Please, sit down.
Hello.
Walk blessed.
Evening.
Malfash's blessings. A little bit of this and that. Why not take a look? Come back anytime.
War on Nerum. War on Kile. Red madness. The fuck is wrong with this world?
Inal bed. Sorry.
Hello.
Yes, you should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find. The old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
my sir.
Ahoy. Ahoy.
Now you're quite the sight. How about a little bit of fun? Hello, handsome.
Ahoy.
Mead, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? Huh?
Well.
Well, there comes a point.
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves. Idiots.
Yes, you should go.
Yes?
Hmm? Can I help you?
Good evening.
Some shifts never end. Walk blessed. Well, I take it you know of Grand Master Aranthiel's return already. Word has it he spent half an eternity in prison in your country. But let me tell you, that man hasn't lost an inch of his resolve. That's admirable, really.
Yes? Oh, you're an outlander, aren't you? The Golden Sickle is the oldest merchants' guild here on Ark. We represent nearly half of this land's trading power, from dates to shadow steel. And, of course, we advocate for path-abiding trade in the name of the Lord. Yes, contrary to some other so-called businessmen, we respect the holy verses when doing trade. We stand for hard work, path-abidingness, and love of our craft. Is that so? Oh, I wouldn't be here if that were the case, now would I? Well, that's simple. Whoever wants to be part of our guild has to work towards the benefits of all other Circle merchants. He or she swears to respect our principles, and pays a monthly token fee to the guild, depending on the volume of his sales. In return, that merchant benefits from our contacts and is eventually granted the Golden Sickle's badge, which marks him as a merchant of trust. Walk blessed. There's always work. But if the Sickle were to trust every day laborer who came along, we would have already gone bankrupt before the first vassals had even set foot on this land. If you really mean it, then you will have to prove it. It's that simple. Well, just ask around and see if you can lend a hand. And now excuse me, I've got business to attend to. Are you joking? Are you just plain stupid? You haven't helped anyone yet. Don't waste my time. Walk blessed. Well, a bit of everything. Just look for yourself. Walk blessed. If only that man knew a thing or two about reliability. $50, $75, $100. Yeah.
Sir? Good evening. Yes?
invented by the poets. On rocks I stood amidst the sea, before the limbs of ancient times. Oh yes. Sensual and sweet as sin, their bodies touch my tender skin. Oh, yummy! Tastes like cherries. Lo, how their bosoms make me languish, and leave my poet's heart in anguish. Whoa! Whoa! Away! Away!
My sir,
Away you
John.
go!
I didn't think I'd see you back
They
on the streets
purse their
so
lips,
early.
so
How's
dark
your
and red. Such
injury?
scheming play, such
Is it?
vexing
Well,
hanks.
that's good to hear. Listen,
Ugh.
what happened at the
Brute
marketplace
lust.
is horrible. I just want you to know that my
With
family
strongest
and I
will, my
include
soul
you in our
so
prayers.
small, I
We
fled their calling after all.
Yippee! Walk blessed.
My prince.
Midnight. Between cobblestone and excretion. Between darkness and light.
Yes?
Hurrah! Hurrah! Advance the fleet! Always forward! Always forward! Forward for the glory and honor! The spears at the ready, driving the swords into the bodies! The same play. Day after day.
Oh, Atreyu.
What? What the? I beg your pardon? But, by the righteous path, this is incredible. I've never heard anything like this before. Tell me, my friend, where did you learn this? Who taught you poetry? Blazes, you're self-taught. Malthus truly did bless you with talent. Tell me, may I interpret your poem? It's just I have to. Well then, I hope this is not too much of a leap, but does your first line, the one with the dancing elder between fire and ice, deal with the socio-sexual isolation of old people in feudal societies? I may be wrong, but that was the first thought that came to my head. No, not at all. I was particularly moved by how you used onomatopoeia in line 4 and 6. Do these brutal noises at the end of each verse symbolize the hedonistic, violent way of life among the common people who have absolutely no regard for the lonely man? Phew. Well, that's a tough one. To me, it sounds like the inner voice of a murderer. Yes, exactly. He celebrates his bloodthirsty way of life. In the fangs of violence, my heart laughs. And then, suddenly, justice ends him, which is once again conveyed through those guttural noises. And I have to say, how you use the uneven number of verses as a metaphor for the discord that results from such a lifestyle is nothing short of brilliant. If that's what you meant by it, of course. You did, didn't you? Well, you know what? They wouldn't. The common people, they don't even understand when I tell them I'm a poet. Poet, they ask? What kind of profession is that? So now I simply tell them I'm an innkeep. That is something they are able to grasp with their limited intellect. easy answers. That's what people long for. But you know what? I would rather die hungry than become one of those soulless pot-boiler artists who make a fortune off their stupid stories. Like, Jonas Schmid does. Do you know him? Mundane rubbish. That's all he writes, but you'll find it on every bookshelf. It's a disgrace. Pure and simple. What? What kind of question is that? How can something that so many people like not be rubbish? Of course! Not everyone has been blessed with an artist's intellect, you know. There are two kinds of writers. Small minds who give the common people fodder that helps them feel smart, and true artists who want more from life. Those who create, with no greed for gold and fame, bound solely by the calling of the muse. Of course I am. I wish it weren't true, but it is. If only there were more people like us. Hymn of the Desert King. Dark as the sun, light as the night. Thousand raindrops, red and small. Lo, from the velvet sky they fall. Kya, oomph, waka waka. She smiles into the desert moon and puke. Oh woe, oh woe, my heart is aflame. And it is over.
This is art.
If you have to ask that, you'd better be on your way, my friend. In the shackles of lust, presented by the poet.
Yes?
On rocks I stood amidst the sea, before me nymphs of ancient times.
Yes?
Yes? What are you doing here?
Fine vintage. Hello. Figured as much. What do you want? Well then, you've come to the right place. The finest beds in the finest rooms, in Ark's finest tavern. What else could you wish for? Music to my ears. If you need anything else, drink, some stew, just let me know. Do come back.
Yes?
Well, aren't you quite straightforward? Most people wouldn't dare ask. I'm a half Kuirian, as you've probably guessed, but I grew up here. If I may say so, there's something foreign about you as well. Ah, a narrow maze, a rare sight these days. I'd like to ask what brought you here, but the innkeeper will cut my pay for each minute I don't play music. Which one would you like to hear? Sure.
100 men they were, as they set out to fight for their country's banner in distant foreign lands. He bid her farewell, a love still young and green. She thought she'd soon be in his arms again. He told her, await my safe return, trust in this lost promise and stay firm. Once moonlight shines right onto the seas, we shall love. Return in victory, they marched up. Blue banners in the sky and teardrops were running from her eyes, yet she fought. If only I believe time will bring him safely back to me. When the red moon casts its light, his ghost travels through the night, through the forest on wind wings, till he reaches the old hill. There she kneels before his grave, where their love has once been born, and he caresses her face, yet she feels not his embrace. Dark and red glows the winter sky, two souls divided by the threads of time. Days turn into weeks, moon for moon passed by, yet no word from the battlefields arrived. Months turn into years, peace now ruled the lands. Empty graves were dug under the sky, but never did she doubt his last oath. Each night she stepped out into the cold. She walked through the forest, climbed the hill where she had once sworn her love to him, and always when summer bid goodbye and moonlight blood red fell from the sky. His
yes,
this is
from dust forgotten bones, searching forward. He had lost too soon when the red moon cast his light. His ghost travels through the night, through the forest on wind wings, till he reaches the old hill. There she kneels before his grave, where their love has once been born, and he caresses her face, yet she feels not his embrace. Dark and red glows the winter sky, two souls divided by the threads of time. she walked the streets, they said that she was damned, a victim to a past long gone and rotten. Yet still she did not care for their words. When night came, she prayed for his return each fall. When cold wind
Huh? What do you want?
she holds
Huh? What do you want?
his hand, and as her lost sunset drew close by, she lingered, forgotten in the night. The moon's light shines bright upon her face. She's waiting till her light fades away. When the red moon casts its light, his ghost travels through the night, through the forest on wind wings, till he reaches the old hill. He kneels before his grave, where the lost one's been born. And as she closes her eyes, a ray of light breaks through the sky, and her skin turns into dust as her soul breaks from its shell and joins him in the sky to shapes no feet from vintage. And the wind takes them away through the woods and trees this way, and she takes him by his hand. At least in peace they find their end. Dark and red glows the winter sky, two souls divided by the threads of time. Dark and red glow the winter sky, two souls united by the threads of time.
The best wine in all of Enderal. Come, give it a try. Fine vintage. The best wine in all of Enderal. Come, give it a try.
Welcome be you merry drunkards, come along and drain your tumblers 50 times to will we raise. So we start to count a day. 1 mug for the joy of being, 2 mugs for the clerics reading, 3 mugs for the needy souls who are always out of dough. Farmers drink and shepherds tattle, bored to death by
Yes?
merchants, soldiers, whores alike. Let the liquor soak the night.
What?
Did you hear the news? Appalling.
Oh, hello there. I assume
Walk
you weren't
west.
talking about Countess Delfano's new hairstyle.
No, worse. Count Algamora cheated on his companion. She only found out by coincidence when she followed him into the Fat Leorin's Inn at night, where he had rented a room. Not suspecting a woman entered her husband's room only to find him copulating with 2 whores, 1 goat, and a stable boy. And now brace yourself. He was dressed up as a priest.
By the 7! This is scandalous! Help me! Who told you this?
The miller's wife. She knows someone who knows someone whose 5th cousin worked at the inn that night.
Huh. Well, if she said it, it must be true. Sad to see what men have become these days. On the surface, they pray each day, do their work, and honor the righteous path. But if you look away for just 1 second, things go down like in a Koranian brothel.
My words exactly. Sad times we live in. Sad times. But what can a simple woman do? Nothing. Anyway, I have to get going. Good to see you. You should come by for a cup of tea someday.
I will. Walk west.
So many strange faces. Well, isn't it nice? Yes? What are you doing here?
What the? Hey!
Hooey!
That was your last mistake. God, what the heck?
Yes?
Is it important?
Now, come on, just a little to the left and... Ugh! Blasted blazes! You are really, really starting to annoy me, you know that? Oh, now look at that. A visitor. Great. Just great. What do you want? Are you here because of the placard? What? By the 7? No! Don't take it personal, but you really don't look as if you know much about Starling craft. What I am looking for is an adventurer. Someone willing to take over a very important task for Horst and me. Yes, Horst. And no, he is not my imaginary friend, but this gorgeous example of Enderalian metallurgy and Starling ingeniousness right beside me. My personal centurion, and soon my new body. Yes, steel instead of flesh, energy instead of blood. Away with this useless shell and its pathetic fugacity. In Horst's body, I will live on forever. Ah! You wouldn't understand this, even if you'd been my apprentice for 15 years. If it helps you, just imagine that I transfer my consciousness, my soul, into Horst's body.
And by doing this, I become him. Apotheosis, that's what the scholars from Cairo call it. Man's ascent to something higher. A deity, you could say. The only logical response to current events, by the way. Ah, red madness, death of the Lightborn. You don't need to be one of those keepers to see something is happening in this world. It's going south, and other than the Holy Order and his new Nehemi's magically gifted pals I am no friend of, trying to pray away such threats, we need to change humanity. The apotheosis, the overcoming of our fleshly nature, is the first step. Unfortunately, I seem to be the only one who sees it that way. But hey, that's their choice. Oh, with this and that, errands, tasks your rough hands are better suited for than mine. But first, we need to find my assistant, Pathira. She's gone missing. Well, I suppose she took a flying unicorn to old Aranath. I don't know, sod it, else I wouldn't ask you for your help, would I? For his completion, Horst is asking something important. Some kind of steering unit, you might call it. Pathira and I have done research and found out that Dalmarak and his cohorts in Thalgard worked on a machine there that might employ a similar mechanism. Even though I had strongly spoken out in favor of an armed escort to send with her, Pathira had insisted on going alone. And surprise, I haven't heard from her since. Something that makes it the ideal place to go if you're suicidal and you're looking for a quick way out. You're an outlander, aren't you? How can I explain that without going beyond the scope? Dalmarak. Does the name ring a bell? He was an arcanist who lived about 2,000 years ago. Back then, the Order planned to build a second great city here in Enderal, situated in a region we now call Goldenforst. But, as it turned out, the place was everything but a good choice for a settlement. No crops would grow there, and the water made the settlers sick. So 3 years after the founding of the first settlement, Malif, the Order forced the settlers to abandon the mission and return to Ark. But, as things are with vain personalities, Dalmarak, who had been in charge of the mission, didn't like that idea at all. Malaf had been his dream, and so he wanted to hold on to it no matter what the price. One of his ways to do so was a device he called the Sun Wheel, an old Pyrean construction which was meant to make the barren lands fertile again. You can figure out the rest. One night there was a bright flash of light, and since then Thalgard has been contaminated. Apart from a few animals and the Sunborn, savages whose brains have been rotted by the green fog there, it's deserted. In the first few centuries to follow, the fog spread as far as Goldenforst, but by now it's receded from there. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But as I said, she insisted. You know, she's of the lone wolfish type, if you get what I mean. Here, this is the place where Pathira said she would set up her camp. From here, she planned to go explore the nearby ruins. And please don't die, else I have no idea how to get Horst up and running.
Some people just don't know their place in the world.